Hello and welcome once again, YouTube fans and friends. I am your humble host, Bank Sixdeis, here with you on this ongoing adventure with the crew of U-552 and the Devil's Dancers. Captain Sixdeis here. God, this seen so much damn fog. You'd say anything. Okay, sorry. Here we go. Nope. Let's see if the damn fog has cleared. I hate foggy mornings and working. Well, let's recut that. We're back in port in La Rochelle, returning from a successful war patrol. I do encourage you to check out the last video, episode 4, a whole lot of fun, and we did the debrief and kind of a recap of how we've done in the last time out. Here we are on a foggy morning, just minutes after we left off, picking right up, and we have plenty on the to-do list. Perhaps we have some potential new crew here. Let's take a look. Well, the first guy I click on here, Karl Langenbein, coming from Schwarzwald, moved to the Baltic Sea coast with his parents as a child. As a boy, he was a long fisherman on his father's boat and soon joined the Navy. He has always been drawn to the submarine fleet. He impressed his instructors at the U-School in Kiel with his experience at sea. He's rather introverted and likes to withdraw in case of conflicts. Otherwise, a very obedient sailor. I think I'm going to go ahead and just go with Karl Langenbein here. Now here's an interesting recruit, Karl Wacker, a playboy and reveler. He joined up because it is easier to pick up girls in uniform. He's too big for his boots. I like the look of this guy. And we come upon Manfred Seitz, a German of Austrian descent, a weapon lover and a hunter. Service in the Navy is his dream. Ambitious, he counts on a rapid production in the military hierarchy. You come upon recruits like this, and you have the potential for future officers. On a foggy, maybe chilly morning, our first task is done. I wonder what upgrades headquarters might have available, if any. 1. So, in all the time that I have loved this game, played this game, more than 1,000 hours, I've really never fully understood the value behind improved toilets. Here we go. Improved hydraulic system that opens up the possibility to use toilets deep underwater. So, helps for morale. I've learned a lot more about the game in all this time now, and I think it could be interesting for us to go with this upgrade. If it's the only one that we have available, I think I might just go ahead and go for it. So yeah, it is, and we do have plenty of budget for this. So we're gonna go ahead and improve our toilets for the benefit of our morale. It will take 1 day to install this upgrade. Okay.
Der Dienst in der Marine hat Tradition in meiner Familie.
So, something that I do while I'm in port, and I role play a lot, so I change the schedule quite a bit. I don't have any work for any of the officers. They get just free time and anything time. The sailors do work still, but their tasks are different. I like to do this to reflect a more realistic environment inside of the U-boat. All right, here we are, about a day later, after a pretty nasty little rainstorm. I guess that's what the fog was the beginning of. And we now, through the stormy weather, have had techs come in and install the upgrades to our hydraulic system on the boat to provide us the ability to maintain a little bit better morale way deep down in the water when the men got to take a piss or a shit. They've got somewhere to do it. The next thing on my list is going to be new orders. It's been a day. BDU knows that we are back. Surely they have new tasking for us already. They know that they were good to give us 1 day break while we got these upgrades installed, and now we'll go ahead and get ourselves ready for the next mission. So, new orders. Here we have it, and this is what we're going to be going with. Another war patrol. This will be back in the Black Pit and part of the Black Pit campaign, as we'll read some of that here. Allied defense is currently weak in the middle of the Atlantic, since it's out of the range of aircraft bases. U-boat skippers call this area the Black Pit. We have to exploit this weakness as much as possible before Allies improve their defense measures. When we complete this, and we're within close to 4,000 tons, easy enough to get across that hurdle, we get 6,000 budget, another milk cow, and we double our current reputation. It's certainly a worthy thing to pursue. Now, going out to BD3 to BD6 in the North Atlantic, I mean, that's a little further out there. But that's okay, no problem. We get 6,000 reward for completing our patrol. We'll end up, we need to sink 7,000 tons. That would get us another 6,000. So we have the chance to earn 18,000 budget, a milk cow, and time and a half, let's say, reputation gain by going with this mission. And I like all the benefits for it. So we're going to go ahead and select. Next, of course, comes the all-important shopping. Now that we know what we're doing. So, torpedoes, right? We're going to go with some of the more expensive T1s with the version 2 firing pin. I like to load up on a fair number of T2s. I just like the fact that they don't leave a wake. But we've got some spending to do, so. So what ends up kind of being interesting about the way that the food mechanic works in the game, by the way, at least as I found it, is when you start running low on something, and you don't really have a ton of supply to replace it with, but this food item takes up a whole square in your storage, you don't sometimes want to add a brand new thing that's going to take up a brand new square, because you might want to use it for something else that's more important, like, say, maybe like med kits or sonar decoys. I wonder if that'll become a problem for me at some point down the road. It hasn't really yet. We'll see. For now, though, I need more of these puppies. And that's our initial shopping trip. God, this rain isn't letting up here. We'll have 5 days off. Plenty of time to rest and recuperate.
Hey, Brumhilde, it's good to see you again. You know why they call me Horst, yes? It's because the size of my penis. Oh, Klug, you are such a terrible man. A toast to the new chief engineer, Heinz Trommel, everyone. Grab your mug and raise it to the sky. Heinz, congrats. Hey, Brumhilde, do you have a sister? I'd like to talk about her. Shut up, Krage.
One thing I wanted to make sure about is the location of my milk cow, again in this island chain here with the potential for at least some friendly air cover nearby, and its proximity to what my patrol route will be, or my patrol sector, which will be up here, BD3 to BD6. And I'm deciding whether or not it will be a priority for me to ensure that I'm able to move my milk cow further north. At the present time, I think not. The reason that's important, because we have another research slot open. And, of course, snorkels are what I'm after. However, we have a bit of a problem that we're going to have to solve. We need an engineer who is not on board the boat. The only engineers that we have are Jürgen Ganga here, my chief engineer, or my chief mechanic, who's in the bunk right above Ganga, Otto Bender. It's really, really difficult to justify going on patrol with any less than 2 qualified engineers in your crew. And so presumably we really would not have an engineer that we could assign to this, but there's a solution to our problem. There is a member of this crew deserving of a promotion, I'm sure. We need a new engineer for the boat, while our chief engineer researches things. One name that rises to the top of my memory for some reason, I can't tell you why precisely, is Heinz Trommel. He has been a dedicated sailor. He mans the depth steers with precision. I've seen him working the engines, and it seems his skill set lends toward engineering. So I'm going to promote him as an engineer, and he'll now be one of our officers. Hey, boys. How do you like me now? I've got my new officer's cap and my binoculars. I don't have to sleep up front with you salty bastards anymore. As it turns out, he speaks Portuguese. This officer can communicate fluently in Portuguese. It may be useful during off-ship missions. I have to choose which engineer I'm going to go ahead and send to do the research on the snorkels in headquarters. Of course, I'm looking at Jürgen Genge and Otto Bender, of course, and making a decision based on their skills. We will keep the ability to recover scrap and complete repairs more quickly if we keep Bender on the boat. And our new engineer can do his best. So, Jürgen Genge will leave the boat. Heinz Trommel will join the crew as a level 1 engineer. And of course, what that gives us the opportunity to do is to begin our research into the snorkels using Jürgen Genge, and I think it will take more than that, 24, so it'll take 48 days. Yep, there you have it. So our research is underway. We will have, certainly after the next patrol, accumulators ready to install on our sub, advanced accumulators. Perhaps after our next patrol, we may even also be able to add a snorkel on the U-boat. I'll be excited if that is the case. That's going to be fun, man. Several days later, on a beautiful afternoon here on the French coast, the men resting and relaxing, recreating in town, the boat nearly ready for our next voyage. A war patrol out in the deep waters of the Atlantic. May still be some last things to do before we set off. Captain Sixdeis is going to head out. Going to come back through here, and we're going to take a look at what we have in storage right now. And in the galley, it looks like the deck gun now is fully loaded. How med kits end up and spare parts end up in deck gun storage, I'll never know. However, what would make sense right now is to just go ahead and move the rest of the purifiers over to the ventilation system. And move these med kits back to the storage room.
Der Dienst in der Marine hat Tradition in meiner Familie.
So, I'm going to take it upon myself to do this work. The rest of the crew doesn't have to join in.
Done. Let's take a piss. Ugh. Now, we head up to see about our torpedo armament. All right. Yeah, we still have some more room. Crew have loaded 2 T2s and then 2 T1s with this version 2 firing pistol. I'm going to have them switch that out. Trommel here will be in charge of switching around the bow torpedoes. Hawkman,
Jawohl.
both of you men will help
Herr Kaloi.
get that torpedo moved. And then next, load this torpedo.
Bewegung. Los, schneller.
Good. Hey, Heinz, is this how you scrubbed that woman last night before you fucked her? She looked like she was very dirty. Be careful what you say to me, cause I outrank you now. But yes, I scrubbed her very clean. Did you win any money off that Wehrmacht bastard? Ha! Yeah, stole it off him. 100 Reichsmark. Can you believe it? Ended up winning on the last card of the hand. Well, it's good. I wasn't part of it. I would have taken your money for sure. Checking my stern tubes, or stern tube, as the case may be. We have a T1 with a version 2 pistol and an empty square in the stern storage area. So we have more torpedoes to get. So the other thing, of course, is to head out and get those new torpedoes ordered up. And we may get some last odds and ends. I think one thing I'm going to do is get more coffee. I'll just get 3. We'll have 461 budget left. Here's another T1 with a version 2 pistol. Let's do it. Another T2, same version 2. And one more T2 with a version 2 pistol. Same thing for our stern torpedo, version 2 pistol on a T2. So, got a little over a day left to make final preparations. And me and the boys of U-552 and the crew of Devil's Dancers will be on our way. Looking forward to this next patrol, y'all. And here we are, late night,
So lange auf See. Ich halte es nicht mehr aus.
on the 10th
We change the schedule around. Make sure we get guys back up on the watch. A salute and goodbye to the home port which we love so much and which we will not see again for many weeks, perhaps many months. So here we are, as the game always does, sends you out automatically, and from that waypoint around here, I really just intend to take a beeline right for my patrol sector.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
And as you can see, this is going to be a long trip. Oh, the following morning, and we hear rain on the sub. That kept us up part of the night. Sheesh. This damned weather! Oh, I hate these storms like these. The rain is coming down so damn hard. Well, one thing we're going to take care of is a little, this isn't going to be navigation, this is going to be management. Let's get our schedule back. Now we need to get our officers' tasks back in order. Everybody up and working now. The boat is moving. Captain's got things in order. All we got to do now is get that gyro compass flipped on, and then we'll be on our way for real. One thing to be mindful of up here for this trip is going to be discipline. As you can see here, as you can see right here, fatigue is now costing us -10 discipline every minute. And basically, fatigue builds up on your crew for just about every single day that they're not able to go on vacation. And I believe that that includes the time that you spend in port. This morale and discipline issue is where our improved toilets could really come in handy in a pinch if we get attacked and we have to go way down deep. And the deep depths plus the fatigue drain our men of morale. The toilets could end up being pretty key for us because we won't have anything else in the way of music, cooking, or cards that will give our men a boost when we're so deep underwater. I'm going to be really interested and eager to find out how those improved hydraulics and the improved bathrooms help us out. Como, I think I spot a problem over here. Yeah, I spotted two. Lorenz working on it. Okay, we'll keep her up to speed. This looks good. All looks well. Well, Horst
has picked up a message from BDU indicating that Officer Ortel has finished our research on accumulators, which means we could reassign him to our milk cow and move it a little closer, which I think is what we'll do with him. So here we have Accumulators 1. Research has been completed. Visit port if you would like to refit your U-boat, of course. Well, we'll accept that. So next, we'll have Ortel assigned to bring my milk cow to BD9 closer to my patrol area, which will take 12 days. And we've arrived in our patrol sector. Here we are. We've sent off radio confirmation of our arrival, and we'll begin our patrol in due course. We'll be conducting hydrophone checks. You know the drill, and of course we'll keep you caught up as the action heats up. I figured I'd add, so we have our new chief here, Trommel, with his 2 helpers here on the electric engines. And I thought it would just be cool to mention something that I really am enjoying about this game, and how I've been able to kind of figure out how to arrange for the AI to just kind of handle most of the tasking in the boat. You can see Hockman here is just coming up and sweeping up. Krage, one of my officers, has taken up a position at the navigation table. Once you figure out how to manipulate scheduling and tasking in this game, setting the priorities for everybody and how they should regard the urgency of each different task, the AI will really just work it out on its own depending on the level of need for different things, such as discipline. My radio man, Max Schmidt, who can cook, has that rating at a 9, which is really, really high. And so when the situation calls for it, truly, if we need more discipline, Max Schmidt will just set himself to work back here in the kitchen. But as it stands now, we've submerged for a sound check, and so we need Schmidt with his ears on the hydrophones. And that's what he knows that he should do. And that's because when we set his tasking priorities, the hydrophones is a number that is the same or above cooking. And that's just a little bit of kind of how that system works, the brilliance in it, and how it just allows you to take out that much more of the micromanagement in the game and kind of just throw yourself in as one character or another at one time or another
and just enjoy some of the immersion of the experience in this first-person view. Okay, here we are. We're several days later, and it's been a bit of a drag thus far, but on this hydrophone attempt, we've come quite a bit deeper. We're down at about 40 meters. We're stopped, and the good news is Horst has made contact with what could be an enemy ship. All right, so we have enemy contact, possible enemy contact now, moving just a little south of east, it would appear. Klug figures heading at 82.7, so northeast. That's strange. So yeah, here you have it. 82.7. We'll call it 83. Has them on a rather northeasterly course instead of southeasterly like this. Next, I'm going to bring the boat up to 18 meters. Horst will still be able to keep an ear on this contact. At the same time, our men won't be so badly affected by our depth, our current depth, which is taking its toll right now on their discipline. At -17 per minute can be pretty darn problematic on top of the fatigue, but now that we are above 20 meters, you just saw that discipline penalty goes away, and that is key. Tracking contact, sir. She is off our bow now. About 50 kilometers away. And it seems like a large ship, sir. Possibly a freighter. So, we are closer now. Horst tells us that it sounds like we are now within perhaps visual distance, at least for funnel smoke. So,
Tanks anblasen!
we're going to bring the boat back up. And there she be. I do believe I see some funnel smoke right off here without looking through the binoculars. And sure enough, there's our guy. Now, enemy ship or not, might be a neutral. It is traveling by itself, and a lot of times neutral ships will do that. We're going to be coming up on it in the daytime. It's just worth remaining mindful of that. If it's an enemy ship, we'll have to make a decision about whether we want to make an attack on the surface or submerge the boat and be stealthy. All right, we can finally get a bit of a glimpse at it here, and that looks to me like a pretty standard run-of-the-mill freighter. So I'm going to go ahead and slow the boat. I'm going to bring us around, get her on our port side, and set us up for a decent ambush. Okay, I think that's going to be about right, I think. I'm going to slow her way down. We're going to go ahead and go to periscope depth. All right.
Alarm! Auf Gefechtsstation!
Alarm status. Is that a Liberty ship? Boy, I think it might be. I really do. Wow. We'll need to put one in her, maybe surface and finish her off with a deck gun. She may be armed. Let's see here. We'll have to wait for her to get a little closer. Range is going to end up being a little over 2.5 kilometers, which, with the element of surprise, just about ensures that there will be a hit with a torpedo. I want to be more sure, so I'm going to scooch the boat up just a little further. I think that's good enough. Man, I'll tell you, those look like red flags to me. I think we've got ourselves an enemy Liberty ship here. Okay, she is armed, but that's what? Just a light flak machine gun. So just kind of compiling a bit of an attack plan here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one torpedo into her for that doesn't put her down not long after making contact, or, you know, as I time it as circumstances allow. I'll probably put the boat back into a head 2/3, bring it up to the surface, run a crew out to the deck gun, and again, if she doesn't go down, just finish it off with the deck gun. $14, like we thought. Course is going to be 8-3. All right, confirmed. She is a enemy Liberty ship. Weapons hot.
Herr Kaloy?
Siegfried Kage here is kind of the odd man out. He's not on observation, so he'll be the one who takes the deck gun. Want to get him better protected with a helmet.
Bestätigt.
Okay, it's about time. Final range check. 2.6. Center mass. Tube 4, T1, good firing pin. I like a T2 so they can't see it coming, so I'm going to go with that. Flood 3.
Bewässern!
Liberty ship. Drought 7.2. We'll set it at 5.5. Now.
Los!
This is when your heart gets pumping a little bit. I'm going to begin creeping the boat forward a bit.
Schneller, schneller!
And again, the idea here is we're bringing the boat forward. Once we've confirmed a hit, we're going to crank the wheel around to starboard, surface the boat, and start hammering away at her with the deck gun and Krage. That's the plan. We're going to take some damage from their gun crew too. We're going to live a little dangerously, but it's going to be economical because we'll be able to repair some damage, use spare parts, gain some experience with the crew. I want to put them through this.
Der Torpedo ist auf halbem Weg zum Ziel.
Here we go. Bring the speed up a little more.
Sekunden.
We're going to start our turn.
Kurs auf diese Koordinaten setzen.
Jawohl. 20 Sekunden.
Come on. Bam! There we go.
Feuer an Deck. Schwere Schäden am Rumpf.
All right. We're going to surface the boat.
Tanks anblasen.
All right. Well, we sunk it. Oh, just as she goes under the waves. Wow. Quite a few enemy sailors here. I would say we might want to have somebody back up on the flak gun, purely for role-playing sake. Although I will say I don't know what the game might have in store for us if we were not to take that measure. So just a word about what it is I'm doing here. It's a role-playing thing, but also, I mean, it's economical as well, logistical. Is, you know, anytime I sink a lone ship or maybe a couple out here, I'm going to run by and I'm going to pick at what's left to see if there's anything that my boat might be able to use. If you push the Alt key, you can see what all there is there for us to interact with, and its rough location, so you can kind of navigate to it a little bit better. We have 2 wooden chests that will be of interest. There's really not much we can do for the enemy sailors, really.
Kurs setzen.
We don't have enough food to share. Hit the brakes. Ah, we have some fruit. We have some canned bread.
Der Dienst in der Marine hat Tradition in meiner Familie.
I don't think either one of those things is worth taking. It looks to me like we might have an officer on board this boat, so I think I'll probably take... Yeah, here we go. These 2 guys. They'll make us a little extra budget turning them in as prisoners. And that'll be pretty much it.
Schneller, schneller!
Sorry, guys. Best of luck to you. I'll leave you with the fruit and with the canned bread, and perhaps you'll make it. But off we go. Good kill. Good kill. Off we go. We'll continue the patrol, but I think this is a good spot to call it an episode. Everyone, I want to say thank you so much once again for tuning in. Please smash that like button, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. That helps hugely. And of course, you can hit that notification bell to find out when I drop new material. Once again, episode 6, we continue the patrol. Who knows? Maybe we'll have another Wolfpack convoy attack in our future. We'll find out in the next one. I'll look forward to it. I'm Bank Sixdeis. See you guys next time.